What is going on, choombas? Today we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077 Orion, CD Projekt Red's official announcement on the sequel for Cyberpunk 2077. First, we gotta thank the modders, first of all, who've continued to make Cyberpunk 2077 during the dark ages a really fun game to play. And most of all, I think we do have to thank the creative team who created Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I watched a little bit about the announcement that CDPR released today, and it was fun to hear them say that it looks like quality is better and will provide, better results. So that was fun to hear because we know we got it. Cyberpunk 2077 was a disaster at launch. Yes, is the game better now? It is, but it wasn't what it was hyped up to be in the very beginning. So with that said, we can clearly see if you put in love, dedication, and a lot of effort to what you are doing, quality over quantity, you actually get great perception. The fact that Cyberpunk was able to reach numbers that it wasn't able to in the past after the launch of Edgerunners is kind of proof of that. The game itself is there's still some bugs, there's still some things that need to be worked on, but the good vibes people got from the anime was enough to push sales over to 20 million copies, which is fantastic news. Honestly, I was a little bit worried and scared for a long time because of the fact that it's like, okay, what's gonna happen with Cyberpunk 2077? I was relying on other YouTubers and the news they would bring as a sort of way to make me feel better that maybe there is hope that there will be a sequel. But now that the CDPR has officially announced it, that is just fantastic news. So obviously at this point, most of you guys have probably seen that the code name for now for the sequel of the game is Orion. What is great news is that they are opening up other hubs within the North American space to allow for further development for the game. This is big because, everyone talks about that time crunch that they often get themselves into when it comes to pre-launch of a game. Hopefully them planning accordingly and in such a way where they have multiple hubs working on a specific IP, or just more people in general when it comes to building better quality games, will help this sequel be the very best form that it can be. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm looking forward to what they're able to bring. Obviously, the game is going to be years away. I don't know, maybe like 3 years from now, which is fine because there's still so much lore that we can get ourselves into. And on that note, things were blowing up in my head. I was at work when the sequel was announced. So there's so many things in my head that went, oh my God. There are so many characters I want them to introduce. Of course, Lucy needs to be in there some way, somehow. So if she doesn't show up in the DLC, they have enough time to prep to put her in the sequel. Other characters that I want to see personally is Spider-Murphy, Raish Bartmoss. I don't care if he's a clone. I don't care if he's some evil genius. Have him in there in one way, shape, or form. Now, I've been talking a lot lately in the comment section about Morgan Blackhand and why he doesn't look like he'll be part of the DLC. But now, given the amount of time that can pass, maybe Mike Pondsmith can see the direction CDPR is going with the sequel. And he's like, you know what? Let's greenlight Morgan Blackhand and have him as a character or some sort of mentor within the sequel of the game. That will be very exciting. More exciting news was the fact that they talked about multiplayer. I can't believe they brought this up. It's clear that this is something they want to do. If you look back at all the games, well, I guess CDPR's biggest games, of course, we have The Witcher and Cyberpunk 2077. There were rumors about Cyberpunk 2077 having multiplayer before it actually launched. But it's clear now that even though they weren't able to do that, this is something that they've been wanting to do for a while. Like, in Cyberpunk, obviously it's going to emulate, I think it's going to emulate something like GTA 5, of course, because of the success they had. Other games would be like Saints Row. I love that franchise. Too bad the game actually flopped, or the recent one flopped anyways. But still, like, I see them emulating that with Cyberpunk because there's so many options you can have here. You can have car chases. You can have bank heists. There's just things you can do, and I'm really excited that they announced the multiplayer. But yeah, there are some exciting stuff going on within the CDPR world. So I am really hopeful once again when it comes to what is in store for the future. Fingers crossed, no one rushes things this time. So games can be developed and released when they are actually ready. That's going to do it for me in this one, Edge Runners. Let me know what you guys think about all the IPs and all the new stuff they have announced today. Make sure to smash that subscribe button for more Cyberpunk content. I will see you, choombas, in the next one. Bye!